You can take a seat in a chair or on your mat. We're going to start off with a little bit of breathing, conscious breathing, because that gets us in and aware of our bodies. And that's where we do the healing. That's where we operate from our lives the best. So take a seat, add some fuzzy socks and a layer, be cozy. You can let your hands rest on your thighs, palms up or down. And your feet you want connected to the ground. So already just grounding and checking in. I'll invite you to close your eyes, but you don't have to. Certainly you can just soften the gaze, bringing your awareness to your body and to your breath. Noticing an inhale and an exhale through your nose. Inhaling and exhaling right here in this moment. Maybe with a tiny smile on your face. And let's bring one hand to our bellies and one hand to our heart center. And you may notice now your belly and your chest can rise and fall with each breath, not forcing, but there's an expansion and a relaxation. There's a fullness and an emptying out. And your hands can allow for feedback, feeling the belly and the chest rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out of your nose. Now, using your imagination, have an extra hand on your low back and an extra hand on your upper back behind your heart. And we'll breathe into all of those hands, feeling the belly and the low back, and the chest and the upper back, almost like you're making space with your breath. Allow your face, your shoulders to relax. Invite your smile, and we'll take a few more breaths right here, breathing into belly, low back, chest, and upper back. And a few more breaths right here. Inhale, smiling. Exhale, smiling. And releasing your hands, you can blink your eyes open. Notice how you feel after checking in for just a couple of moments, consciously breathing into your body. And I love those imaginary hands. It just helps me connect. So I want to go over 3 things that we'll be covering as we move through our sessions of Smiling Spine. They're not rules, but I want you to be aware of these things. The rules will come later. Number 1, breathing creates calm. We just did some breathing, and maybe you noticed a shift in your energy. Maybe you went inward and you feel a little calmer than when you started. So number 1, breathing creates calm. Number 2, aches and pains are just information. They do not define you. They are just information about what's going on in your body. So try to approach aches and pains with loving kindness. It helps. Number 3, you are a whole, beautiful being. So you are unique, you are whole. This is bonsoir. Bonsoir. Not exactly anatomically correct, but good enough, because we want to learn about our cervical spine, our thoracic spine, our lumbar spine, and our sacrum. The way I learned, and it helps me to remember, is breakfast, lunch, dinner. What? Your cervical spine, your neck spine, has 7 vertebrae. Your thoracic spine or upper back has 12 vertebrae. Your low back or lumbar spine has 5 vertebrae. Breakfast at 7, lunch at 12, dinner at 5. There are actually people that do that. My family in Maine, breakfast at 7, lunch at noon and 12, and dinner at 5. So that's how I remember cervical spine, thoracic spine, lumbar spine. At the base of that is your sacrum. This is 4 or 5 fused bones. And at the very bottom is your tailbone or coccyx. Notice how the sacrum is attached to your pelvis. So your pelvis is a beautiful foundation for your spine. And at the very top, your head. Yes. What we think about affects the spine, whole being. Now we can talk about natural curves. Bonsoir is not that curvy, but I will show also on my body. The cervical spine is lordotic. There's a curve. The thoracic spine is kyphotic. So it's a little rounded or it's kind of flat. I tend to be on the flat-ish part of a thoracic spine. The lumbar spine is lordotic again, like the neck. So curved neck, curved low back. The sacrum is kyphotic, like your upper back. It curves out a little bit or is kind of flat. Everyone's curves and everyone's lack of curves are different. This is you being unique and whole again. So cervical spine, neck spine, thank you. Thoracic spine, upper back, thank you. Lumbar spine, low back, thank you. Sacrum, tailbone, thank you. Connection to the pelvis, connection to the rib cage, where your respiratory diaphragm lives at the bottom of your rib cage. That's your big breathing muscle. So that's connected. We go up, connection to shoulders, neck, connection to head. Everything is connected and whole. Thank you, bonsoir. Thanks for smiling in your spine. Let's learn about how we move. How does your spine move? In these sessions, we'll focus on 4 spinal movements: flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and rotation. What are they? Spinal flexion is rounding. If you think about cat pose in yoga, spinal flexion, rounding. Spinal extension is lengthening. Thinking back bends or cow pose, lengthening, front, inward, back, lengthening, spinal extension. Lateral flexion is a side bend. Lateral flexion, side bending. It feels really good. And rotation or twisting. Twisting or rotation. Those are the 4 moves we will be playing with throughout sessions 2 and 3. And first, important to become aware of our back body. What's around the spine? What's below the spine? So, some self-massage for your neck, your upper back, your lower back, and your buttock. Ready for self-massage? You'll need a wall or a door, something you can lean into safely. And you'll need a set of yoga tune-up therapy balls. This is the classic or original size. If you don't have the yoga tune-up balls, just grab 2 tennis balls, put them in a sock, and tie a knot so that the balls will stay in place. A couple of guidelines or rules for the self-massage. Breath. Breath, breath, breath. You want to take full inhales and exhales, and if you find that the breath becomes shallow or you're holding your breath, you need to do less. Be extra gentle and kind with yourself as we move into maybe some unfamiliar territory. Maybe you haven't done self-massage with therapy balls before. So breathing, that's number 1. Number 2, we'll explore with curiosity over control. Curiosity over control. Yes, we're just going on an exploration of the back side of our body. Buttocks, low back, upper back, and neck. You'll do what you can. You'll rest whenever you want. This is not a contest. We're going with curiosity over control, and we're going for feel good. Smiling, remember that part, smiling spine. All right, to start, I actually just want you to use your hands so that you become aware of where we're going. Just hands. You can put the therapy balls down. I like the little holder, it was like a purse. Left and right buttocks, hands. Gently tapping or massaging. Tappity tap or massage. So now you know where we're going with the therapy balls. We'll start on the right side with the balls vertical. We'll stay on the right side, moving side to side. Your feet come away from the wall, and you just begin to move side to side, staying on the right gluteals, your buttock muscles. Aha. There's some information there. We sit a lot these days, maybe more than ever. So these muscles, they get tired, kind of cranky. And we remember that the pelvis is the foundation for our smiling spine. So these big muscles in our pelvis, we're going to say hello and thank you. Taking a few more moves side to side. Notice your breathing. And then switch sides. Left side will focus, staying on the same side. Therapy balls are vertical, but they move side to side. And if you're using the sock, the tennis ball, or even the yoga tune-up balls, if they start getting askew, you just reset them. It's no problem. You're in charge of your self-massage. It's quite empowering to be able to receive some feel-good massage. Notice how it feels on this side compared to the first side. Do you need to do less? Do you need to stop and rest? Completely allowed. Okay. You may already notice heat, warmth, energy, awareness. This is a good thing, our yoga practice about being self-aware. Now we'll take the balls horizontal, go back to the right side, horizontal. They're going to go up and down. Same thing, you lean into the wall. Balls are horizontal on the right side, and you bend and straighten the legs. My feet maybe are about a foot, maybe 15 or 16 inches away from the wall. This is you, intuitive. You know when you bend, that feels fine, or oh, I need a little less. You can put the balls up a little bit higher, not in the low back, still in the buttocks, or a little bit lower in the buttocks. Your pesky hamstrings or your lovely, amazing hamstrings attach at the sit bone, the base of the pelvis. So even this rolling of the buttocks, especially down toward the bottom, can make a difference down the legs. Whole body, whole human. Breathing. And P.S., what a bunch of nice work for the legs. Yes, thank you, legs. Okay, let's switch sides. Balls go on the left side, up and down. And you can reset them. You can go a little bit lower, middle, a little higher, just staying on the left gluteals. These are some big, amazing muscles. Oh, this left side. Hi. Nice breath in and breath out. Just a couple more. They say breath is the music of your soul. I love that. And I love music. Sometimes I'll do this self-massage with some of my favorite tunes on. Just, you go intuitively and it feels so good. All right. Let's just stand for a moment in Tadasana. Tadasana. You can close your eyes. Take a few breaths in and out of your nose. Notice how you feel. And open your eyes. We'll move up to the low back. If your low back is angry and crankster right now, if it's not smiling, then you might just do the first part with the hands. This is a warm-up for the low back massage. You can clasp your hands and massage. Be as gentle or as intense as your body wants today. But sometimes we don't want to roll on something that's already mad, angry, frustrated, painful. So you can always go below to the buttocks or above to the upper back, which we'll get to shortly. Switch direction. This is a great low back massage. If your arms are long, you can revisit the buttocks. Nice low back, lumbar spine. All these muscles working hard to hold us upright and to let us bend over and do gardening. And release your hands. So you might stay with that today. If you're feeling ready to try the therapy balls, we will start again vertical, but this side will go, this time we'll go across the spine, back and forth, balls vertical. They're okay to go across the spine if they're the yoga tune-up balls. Be mindful if the tennis balls, they don't have as much give, So if that doesn't feel okay, stay on one side. Can stay on one side. Feet are away from the wall. I'm leaning in and I'm breathing. Oh, and my hair is getting stuck to the wall. It's interesting in life in general, and dare I say, well, I think it's everybody, but especially women, that we want to do more, when really less can be more. So even here with the self-massage, a little goes a long way. You don't need to do this for 3 hours to make a difference. Okay, now we'll switch the balls to horizontal, lumbar spine, up and down. So one ball is on each side of the spine. Feet away from the wall, bending the knees. Here we go again. Thank you, legs. And the balls will go up and down. Our lumbar spine. You can stay right above the pelvis. And then maybe you want to move them up just a smidge. Don't go above the bra line. We're going to get there. Leaning in as much or as little as you'd like. Making sure you're not with fists. Your hands are relaxed. Your breath is so good. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you find one spot that you just are like, oh, that feels so great. I'll take a big breath here. Good. And then we'll come off the wall and notice again. Now we've talked to the buttocks and the low back. I definitely feel warmth and awareness. It's a good feeling, like a little bit of heat. It's nice. Okay, we're going to the upper back now. So for warming up the upper back, well, it's not as easy, right? We can't reach in there. So this is what I want you to think about. Just reaching your arms forward and drawing your shoulder blades apart and together. Your shoulder blades are here and here. One on each side of your spine. Reaching and drawing in, away from each other and together. If that is just wonky, take a cactus arm and see if you can keep your pelvis steady, but draw the chest open and then round. Forearms together. Open and round. And you'll feel the upper back. That's what we're looking for. Upper back, chest open, and then the upper back shoulder blades away from each other. Just doing this in itself, keeping your pelvis steady, will definitely warm up the area. And that may be enough for today. Or, this is one of my faves, the balls go vertical. Let's start on the right. We've been doing that. Start on the right. Just beside your spine, not on the spine, between the spine and the shoulder blade on the right side. Balls are vertical. You lean into the wall and you give yourself a hug. And then you make the teeniest tiny shimmy. So the balls kind of stay where they are, but there's a little bitty movement, teeny tiny movement. Oh my goodness, so much yumminess in here, or stress and tension and life. Switch your arms, give a little hug and shimmy. Tiny little bit. And get ready, our big move. We're going across the spine to the other side. It's magic. So, not on the spine, beside the spine, between spine and shoulder blade, and we're on the left side now. Hug and little shimmy. If you feel like the therapy balls are not in the right place, they're probably not. Mine feel a little bit high on this side for some reason. I'd lower them just a little bit and hug and shimmy. And then switch your hug. Little mini movement side to side. Good. And release. And I bet you know what's coming next. Horizontal, one ball on either side of the spine. And we bend and straighten our legs so that the balls go up and down. We'll start just above the bra line or at the bra line, just ish, right in here. Lean into the wall, feet away from the wall, bend and straighten. So sometimes the balls will start to tilt and you reset them. Leaning in as much or as little as you would like. Breathing in and breathing out. Hello, upper back, thoracic spine. Thank you. Sometimes we're carrying the weight of the world. Here we can rest. And we stay below the neck, but you can go up a little bit higher if you'd like, just a little bit higher. Bend and straighten, stay below your neck. If our muscles could talk, what would they say right now? Maybe, oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. And where have you been? Why haven't you been doing this? Welcome. All right. Good. Okay, let's pause. Upper back. You just might notice that you feel a little uplifted, a little more open, even across chest and shoulders, although we were on the back body. It's all affecting everything. Everything affecting everything. Tadasana for 2 more breaths. And then you'll come down. You're going to be on the mat, seated, or you could grab a chair if you'd like. Just going to do one thing here, and then we'll come to lie down. So for warming up the neck, you're just going to move your head around. Take a look to the left and the right. Maybe take a glance up, but keep the neck long. Maybe look down. Maybe make your double chin. Maybe tilt an ear toward a shoulder. Good. Thank you, neck. Now, on the side, from below your ear all the way down to your collarbone, there's a muscle called the SCM, sternocleidomastoid. It's a sticking out kind of cord-like muscle, and I just want you to find it on your body. You might have to go and look in a mirror. You kind of do a side eye, and then you look, and you find this cord-like muscle that goes from just behind the ear down to the collarbone. Take your fingers and your thumb and gently massage the SCM. And there's a way to do this with the therapy balls that I love, but I would maybe rather be in person looking at you doing this. So maybe one day we can do that. And we'll switch to the other side. And this is lovely because you can remember that you don't always need the tools. There's different ways for self-massage and feel good. Good. And then just the littlest bit of massage along the neck maybe a little bit behind the neck and up into your skull. All right. Therapy balls now are going to go on a blanket. We're going to come to lie down and rest. Remember, rest is a yoga pose. But the therapy balls will be at the occiput, the occipitals, which are the two little bones at the base of your skull. Sometimes a shampoo person will get in there or a massage person, but you can do it yourself. So that's where the balls will go, not in the neck, but up at the base of your skull. The blanket is going to hold them in place. All right, are you ready? If this feels too intense at any point, please don't do it. You can just rest with your head on a blanket or a pillow. You can keep your knees bent, but you come down and you arrange the therapy balls so that they are on those two little bony nubs. And you'll know when you get there, it feels like a nice exhale. You can let your hands rest on your belly or have your arms in Shavasana shape by your side body, and you're more than welcome to straighten your legs. I'm going to keep mine bent. It feels good on my low back right now. And then you begin making the movement of a yes, nodding your head. It is so tiny. It's a tiny little up and down motion. Someone watching might be like, they're not doing anything. So it's really tiny. Now they just wouldn't get to know all the magical, fantastical feel-good that's happening. Notice your body breathing in and out of your nose, and the rest of your body relaxed. Coming back to neutral and begin to make the tiniest no. No, thank you. Your head going side to side. And you'll feel one ball on one side into the bone, and then as you turn the other one, other side. Just a little bit more side to side, tiny movement, full breath. And very gently, you're going to take the therapy balls out. Don't be wild with your head right now. Just take the therapy balls out and let your head come down to rest. And you can stay here and rest as long as you'd like. Taking in all that we did from buttocks to low back, upper back, neck, using hands, fingers, therapy balls, or tennis balls. Thanking your body for showing up. And thank you. This is quite an adventure. If you've never done therapy ball massage, thank you for trying. Exploring with curiosity over control. I'll see you soon in session 2.